Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Who is going to be the Formula 1 World Champion in 2025? Max, Oscar, Lando or Charles? The Lulu is really the Sulu. I have learned this in 2025. McLaren won the Constructors in Singapore. These are not anti-Blair, but we still have other teams fighting because the higher your position is by the end of the season, the more millions of money you get. Last week, I put a poll on my Instagram story where a lot of you guys participated, and the question was who you think is going to be the Formula 1 World Champion of 2025. And guys, I have some tea. 48% of y'all actually chose Oscar Piastri. Now starting with Oscar Piastri. Well, to be honest, Oscar is the safest and more logical option. Oscar has a good lead right now. Although in the last few races, his racing has kind of been questionable. After his domination in Zandvoort, I thought that the championship was wrapped up. I don't mean point-wise, but I mean like with the kind of attitude that he had on track. I thought that this guy is becoming champion for sure. After that came Monza, Baku and Singapore. McLaren was not the same ever again. In Monza, it was the papaya rules. McLaren has imbibed papaya rules so much in my life right now that honestly I hate the word papaya rules. Baku was, I don't want to think about it because it's one of the most saddest days of my life of 2025, of the Baku weekend of Oscar Piastri's life. I don't even want to kind of get into it, so moving on to Singapore. Singapore was honestly kind of controversial. I made a whole video on it. But now I feel that Oscar Piastri has kind of started coming into pressure now. You can see it in his attitude. You can see the way he is around and within the team. But I don't think he's someone who's going to be broken by pressure. But guys, the plot thickens here. Do you know about the Alex Palou case with McLaren? I'm not going to get into the whole Alex Palou case, but it is actually related to Formula 1. So hear me out. In short, let me tell you what the case is about. Basically, McLaren wants like $20 million from Alex Palou because he breached his contract, whereas Alex Palou was saying that, hey, you know what, you told me that you would give me a Formula 1 seat, but you did not, so I am going to do what I want to do. I don't think that he's wrong here. But then he said something in the court which was honestly he said that Zach Brown told Alex Palou that in 2023 they did not even want Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri was not his first choice. Andrea Stella is the team principal and he wanted Oscar Piastri. Now just imagine Oscar Piastri reading these headlines. How would he feel? Do you think that he's going to give a shit about the papaya rules? Do you think that he's going to listen to his boss after knowing that he was never the first choice to be in McLaren? Guys, if this is not rage worthy, then I don't know what is. Now coming to God, Lando Norris. Yes, I have been calling Lando Norris God because of course, like a lot of people think that Lando is not the favorite of McLaren. I still do. And so does now Max Verstappen. So moving on to Lando Norris. You guys gave Lando Norris a 13% into winning the Drivers' Championship in my voting. And though not a lot of people voted, but guys, 13%. I mean, no one trusts Norris. I just hope he does trust himself. In Singapore, we saw a very aggressive Norris. Norris for World Champion Norris. Norris for World President Norris. Norris for God Norris. Is the Norris that we wanted to see since the start of the season. And now, he has to pay for it. Anyway, Norris is very talented. He's fast, he's good at managing his tires, but his only problem is consistency. And not the consistency of winning. I think he has on that, but the consistency of actually being aggressive like we saw him in Singapore. I mean, both the drivers have used the word repercussions, which I don't know what means by that. So are we in the repercussions rules era now? The mug is as big as my face. I'm not going to underestimate him, but I don't even want to talk a lot about Lando Norris, to be honest. So moving on to my man, Max Verstappen. You guys gave Max Verstappen a full 38% on the voting title. And if it was 33%, honestly guys, I would die. 38%, I know it's Max Verstappen, Lord Max Verstappen, the GOAT Max Verstappen, but 38%? He's 63 points behind the papaya drivers, and the papaya drivers are just not giving us a double DNF. It's something that we've been waiting for all season, but there has been nothing yet. Anyway, I'm not going to get into how great Max Verstappen is because I don't want to throw my obsession to you. If there's anyone who can actually pull this off by the end of the season, it is Max Verstappen, and I've made multiple videos on how I feel Max Verstappen could probably win the championship. Now, coming to the track part of Austin, every race I do like a pre-race review and a post-race review. In the pre-race review, I talk about what's happening and also talk about the track guide. So this is the track guide for Austin. I really like the first few corners. It's like a snake. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast. It's like a really cool curve. It's uphill, it's downhill. I think it's a really cool part of the track. And then the second sector is where we have the hard braking and lots of opportunity to overtake. If you remember last year, Norris and Verstappen had their moment in the second sector of the Austin race. I really want to see what happens with the papaya boys over here. Are we going to see any papaya rules or no? But I think that sector 2 is going to be very interesting in the race as usual. And then the sector 3, which is the difficult part, it has a record for most track limits. So qualifying here is going to be fun and dramatic. Personally, I feel that Red Bull is going to be strong in Austin because you need a driver who can pull off a track like Austin, and we have Max Verstappen in Red Bull. I think it's also going to be good for McLaren, but there is a lot of tire management. It's really going to be hot, so I don't know. I mean, McLaren is going to be strong, but maybe not the best. It's also a very good test for Mercedes because of their new flexi wing. I think it's going to help them understand how it actually worked, and that's really cool to see. Ferrari is going to be a disaster because honestly this track has a lot of bumps, and we know the whole bump issue that we have gone throughout the season and what Ferrari has had to do. So I think for Ferrari it's not going to be a very good weekend. In the midfield, I guess VCARB and Haas are going to be doing great, and we should keep an eye out for them. Haas, of course, because it's an American team, and VCARB because, of course, why not? Prediction time, I think the race is going to be won by Max Verstappen and everyone else is going to DNF. Also, if you are watching this race from India or Asia, then guys, we need a lot of coffee. Goodbye.